Previously on Ace Attorney.
No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time you told us the truth. My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. The galactic engine, ignition. What? It's going haywire. It won't stop. My stars, my glory. No, way.
Hello, YouTube. I am Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. And episode 5, turnabout for tomorrow. The final case of Dual Destinies. No one can escape their past. Oh, poor Athena. The sins we've committed and the sadness we've caused. No matter how far we run, our past remains, as ever present as the moon in the sky. It looms in wait for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. December 20th, 1:23 p.m., Write Anything Agency. They took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. My pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena being the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah. Seems so empty, too. Just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, and I still believe it was. At least, based on what we know. And now Athena's the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, a lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proved the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, innocent. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. But Athena couldn't have done it. Just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Ah! Where is the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. Thanks, Tracy. I needed that push. Tracy's right. The trial's tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I'd better get out there and find some new evidence. Off we go then. We're on a hunt for evidence that'll prove Athena's innocence. Great. But before we go, I'd better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Unnecessary evidence left at the office. Athena's probably still in the middle of being questioned. So Tracy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. Are you coming with us, Tracy? I still can't believe Apollo really left us. Yeah, only he had some familial reason to stay at the office. It was so sudden. Maybe he got tired of being my assistant for my magic tricks. I don't think it's your fault, Tracy. But I made him clean the toilet a lot. And I made him go bring in the newspaper. It was my fault. I just know it. Oh, Apollo. I really don't think it was your fault, Tracy. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here either. How could they suspect Athena? It's just ridiculous. It must be some kind of conspiracy. Conspiracy, huh? Well, it certainly is some kind of mistake, that's for sure. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we have to chase down the people who framed her. We'll sneak around the world from Kiev to Carolina with the hot fuzz on our tails. Goes all around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filter with something. Oh, that brings back some memories of college. Okie dokie. Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other day? Wasn't a movie, it was a TV show. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Okie dokie. Oh, wrong button. Well, yeah, they're probably still questioning her, so. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. Oh, boy. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Galactic scooter! Full speed ahead! Yeah. He just lied to us anyway. Director! He scooted away. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. Yep. December 20th. Cosmos Space Center. Boarding Lounge. Number 1. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey. Mr. Starbuck. Yeah, you've been released, huh? Yep. And I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... What's wrong? Thought he'd be happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Sykes. He saw Athena? I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Ah, that sounds like Athena. I can just picture it. I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. Oh, dear. She's got to be suffering. She must be so worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena. There's no question about it. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then they can put me in prison instead. I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. Much rather have the actual murderer in prison if you don't mind. Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be all right with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo is a fine boss to look up to. Yeah, he does. Oh, I can examine? Okay. And talk? Oh. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I haven't the foggiest idea. So there was never going to be a launch that day. Not from the very beginning. I wonder if Clay knew. He must have known something. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worthless and space debris. Is he going to be all right, Daddy? His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Oh, that's just how he is. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murder? Not really. Only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all. I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something from the police, though. They said they never did find a 10 caliber gun down that trash chute. Just as I thought, the culprit must have carried it away from them with them when they escaped. So, was the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbuck? Couldn't really tell. But it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? Oh, I can't even tell you that much. Yeah, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. The door? Oh, yeah. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except right now the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and the Space Museum are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Okay. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure. Just let me have my print scanned here. Thank you very much. Do the launch pads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, I used to switch the pads around at times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction. Right? Right. Because, quite frankly, Space Center needs some money. I hear you. Times sure are tough. Daddy, let's go check out what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. Okay. Here's Leaf. Huh? Wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes. There are a lot of trees around the Space Center. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor and they came in that way. Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. So this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open sesame. So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either. That's right, Tracy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints. When they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor into Boarding Lounge 2. Okay. I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. And I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. Well. Do I have anything interesting? Can you tell me about this? Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No, sorry, I'm so useless. No, it's all right. There's no need to get all depressed. Okay, what about this? Why was this in the Space Museum? Okay, no. Well. Okay. Let's go. Where are we going? Back to the entrance? Yep. Curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed away. Director Cosmos, wait. And he's gone. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that. The mobility system has been compromised. Tracy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. My dear old battleship, we fought mighty a skirmish together. It's been an honor. Daddy's gonna blow that thing up! Bet all that button will do and make it go haywire again. Very well, I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the two launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner. Wait, what? Oh. Yay. No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. It looks like I'll have to undo his Cyclops if I want to get to the bottom of this. Well, let's see how much I have, if anything.
Take that!
Behind the switching of the launch pads. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the two launch pads. I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out longer than anyone. Are you holding your breath? Oh my God, you are a child. I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Now let's see where to start. This is how you explain your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it to save the astronauts. Thanks to you switching the launch pads, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket far away from the actual explosion. My astronauts were raring to go out on an authentic adventure in space. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing? I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off.
Take that!
You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then, with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Someone please help this poor prisoner of war! Was he able to spin around like that? Especially with one of his tires flat. You really wanted to save the astronauts' lives. Shouldn't you have just called off the launch? If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone through all that trouble? I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't have called it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Well, that's because I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronaut safety. But it's just a warning. Could have even have been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days. Oh? Then realized channeling was back in vogue. Besides, thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone. Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see. AKA a regular old telephone. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call. The bomber said it's been a while, and that was enough to make you take the threat seriously. Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before? Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. Had one miracle? The Hat One Miracle. That epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said, "It's been a while," you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real and it wasn't a prank. Grrr!
Didn't anyone ever tell you to go easy on an ex-serviceman? Yes, the Hat One miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage, murder. So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat One miracle. I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur had been caught and that the case was closed. Huh? Wait a minute. A murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, a murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time.
How do you keep saying straight through me?
Unlock successful! The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat One miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at this space center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding.
If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads, we'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago.
7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat One miracle?
The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the trolls began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme.
So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered.
Wow, I had no idea such awful events were behind that exciting story of space heroism.
All that, in spite of the Space Center having a very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints.
Why specifically would you mention a leaf? So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage?
At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy.
A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country, carries out dangerous missions, and always gets the girl? Someone's watching way too many late-night movies.
Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material,
it's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all.
Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago,
We got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? I see the same thing. Exactly. But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then, 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans. Just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moonrock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We won't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from Boarding Lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repair sign at the door to Launchpad 1 and Boarding Lounge 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it. He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well until... Police murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Terran is dead, and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. Wait, what? My home, the center of the cosmos, my beautiful Cosmos Space Center, is done for. Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in that blast? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. Okay. The idea was that, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway.
But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe.
You misunderstand. The launchpad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. Oh my God. It blew up in courtroom number 4. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give my instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch. Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion and planted the bomb then. Yeah, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spies behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. And this spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. Well, Prosecutor Blackwell told me once, the hunt I've been on for the phantom of the 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too.
So if we can find this phantom...
That's right, we can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell too.
What about him?
Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. Still an if, though.
I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in.
It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl. I'm done for. That is the center of the cosmos system.
You think he's going to be all right, Daddy?
Well, at least he's in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too.
If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds.
It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something.
I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. Here we are at the Space Museum.
Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago?
There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit.
Oh, wow, look at the photo of the team.
There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Oliver Blackwell, and even Punko. I've never seen the woman on the right before.
Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos.
Let's check out the newspaper article, too. Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. Guess it's only natural that it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage.
They really were keeping a secret, just like the director said. Randy, take a look at that jacket.
It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay.
Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says.
Not a replica, huh? Wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks.
Okay. Hello?
Oh, Miss Woods, so what brings you here?
I heard Athena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here, at the scene.
You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm going to do my very best to defend her.
Athena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her.
Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center?
What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl.
She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much about this place. Miss Woods, could you tell me more, in detail?
Athena's mom worked here. If I remember it right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that.
But why is the psychology specialist working at a space research facility?
I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too.
So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it.
She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her.
Sad memory? Can you tell me about it?
There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch.
Athena's mom, in the robotics lab. She was murdered. What? After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school.
Poor Athena. All this time, she never let on at all.
I was so worried about her. I came here so many times hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years.
And so the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Quartz's case?
That's right. And I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy.
What was Athena like as a child?
She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around.
It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices.
Aww. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her. It was part of her research.
I wonder what kind of research it was.
Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. Brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Daddy, show her that picture.
Atta girl, good idea.
Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me?
Oh, look, there's Athena's mom. The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metis Sykes.
Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat 1 launch?
What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch.
Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime Prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case.
There is?
Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. And please try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. So, we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. We've got our place full, Daddy. Hope we can fit it all in before the day is through.
The detention for Athena first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. Still December 20th. Detention Center Visitors Room. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business? To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tonate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And what he was saying so incredible, I just had to come right over to hear more.
Incredible? What was he saying?
Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? I give you my special permission. Here comes the bomber now. You, what nerve you have to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence, no question, okay. No violence. Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine, then just answer me this, Mr. Tonate. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room.
What are you talking about? Who else could have been there?
I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was. But that's who blew up the courtroom.
You expect us to buy that?
Easy there, Jersey. I don't see any Cyclops. So I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me. I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it. Can't exactly ignore its claims, of course. So we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow, they laid it all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. Okay, then. Huh.
hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning.
Anything but that.
I'm afraid I have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes.
You're going to see Athena now?
That's right. Oh, did you folks come see her? Oh, sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go.
Damn it.
Oh, what bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her.
And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Mm.
Okay, this is kind of nifty looking. Why is there a giant spiky ball there?
So, this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly one floor above the boarding lounge.
And where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots.
Daddy, look over there!
Oh! So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right?
Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead?
Apollo and all her Blackwell? Wonder what they're talking about.
Well, come to spoil our fun? Just when I was enjoying our alone time.
Trucy and Mr. Wright.
If it's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own.
And I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab.
Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed. And they all lived happily ever after.
Daddy, say something to her.
And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court. Am I right?
Princess, huh? Guess she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena's innocent.
Oh my. Such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo?
I don't know yet.
Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you. Or should I say, former subordinate.
I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena?
All this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk.
Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay?
Mr. Terran, but that's Apollo you're talking to.
Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost.
Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran.
I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her, too, of course.
A robot that can see ghosts?
Yeah, right. and I'm a spirit medium. Oh, wait. Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena no matter what you have to say about it.
How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago.
Did you tell me about the incident 7 years ago?
Why? Do you enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return?
I'd like to hear about that incident too. It helped me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too?
Well, if you're the one who's asking, Apollo. Come on, hunk of junk, you tell the story.
But Miss Aura, that's private information.
If you won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk.
Yes, who cares about personal privacy, not me? I'm ready to utilize my blessed processing abilities to impart all available information.
Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now.
The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much younger then. Yikes, better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Clonko. And then our hearts were created by that great genius, Dr. Metasykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metas transcend humans.
Metis?
She just glanced over at her desk.
Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that's left of Metis here on Earth.
The robots are all that's left? Isn't she leaving out a very important someone?
We built the ultimate creations together, and now she's gone.
I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you.
What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend, Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat.
Miss Aria, would you like a tissue?
Keep your trap shut, Unca Crunk. Blanco is an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain, and I can always repair his body. Besides, their hearts aren't actually in their bodies.
What do you mean by that?
The program Metis wrote runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. These bodies are really just peripherals. So I can do anything I want to them.
I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things.
But why are you people looking into such an old case now anyway?
Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case.
So Daddy's going to find out who killed Dr. Sykes too. I'm sure you're aware of who Metis' killer is.
Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems.
That's a quaint way of putting it. Are you implying you don't think he did it?
Can't say anything for sure right now. That's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it, to help me be sure.
I was the one who introduced Simon to Metis, you know. He wanted to learn psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court.
Prosecutor Blackwell's forte is infamous power of suggestion technique.
Exactly. And he was oddly serious about it, rather than a teacher-student relationship. He treated her more like how a loyal samurai would treat his sovereign.
Seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me.
He even got along well with that miserable little princess. What do you call Athena the princess anyway? Well, she is Metis' daughter after all, though she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around?
Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. All makes sense now.
So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then.
What does it settle?
None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people going to hang around in here anyway? What? But we came here to take a look around.
You think you can just waltz in and ransack a person's lab? Show me a search warrant. We're not the police, so we don't have one.
Then get out, now. Clonko, show them out.
So certainly, Miss Aura. Don't push! My apologies, I'm just following orders. Ah! Well, then. December 20th, East still. Cosmos Space Center entrance. What a way to get shown out.
The nerve of that woman! What's with that horrible attitude?
I guess that's just how she is.
And why was Apollo going along with her?
I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay just like how Aura lost Dr. Sykes.
I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that.
I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky?
I'm going to go keep an eye on him.
Hey, wait, Trucy, come back! She's gone. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. I guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. In the next episode,
to the outro.
Okay, I really don't want to think that Aura is responsible for any of this. But she definitely does have a grudge against Athena. So I'm thinking she probably blames her for Simon's incarceration and may even blame her for Metis' death. Also, Ted Tone claims that someone saw him murder Detective Arm and stole the detonator for the bomb in the courtroom when they did. Also, allegedly, there's a spy, one that sabotaged the Hat 1 mission 7 years ago, then sabotaged Hat 2 just the other day. Why? To destroy the asteroid samples they just returned? If that's the case, then they succeeded when they blew up coordinate room number 4. So, is it someone we haven't met yet? Because if not, I have no idea who it could be. I mean, I really don't think they're going to introduce a new character now because then it'd be super obvious who the spy is. Assuming there actually is a spy and all of this isn't just an overly complicated way of covering up a crime of passion that occurred 7 years ago. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my SMT4 playthrough, and down here's the video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!